we get all our table help back to the table ready to go, and the wrestlers will get clean match. We appreciate it. Cheerleaders, when you're ready, let me know.
Welcome everyone. This is Jeremy Fierro and Dirk Rockhill and Caden Bell on the computer, bringing you the High Country Classic Wrestling Finals here in South Summit, beautiful Camas, Utah, with a little snow coming down from what I understand. It's been a wonderful day of wrestling, been going on since 9 a.m. Lots of great matches, duels, whatever you want to call them, Dirk. That's why I have Dirk here. He's the professional when it comes to wrestling. We're glad to have him to join us. And I think we're going to get started in a couple minutes here. We have our final, what do you call these, bouts?
Have our final matches, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we'll have our final matches. The final round, championship. And I don't know if professional is the right word.
Well, comparing you to me, I'm going to call you professional, okay?
It depends on how we're looking at it, because with all this setup, you're pretty professional at what you do. I might know a few of the names and stuff, but that's about it. And you know, it looks like it's been an amazing day here. Just going through the brackets, there's a lot of South Summit wrestlers in the final rounds. Looking at the brackets, there's some tough schools here. It's been a tough day. This was no cakewalk, I don't imagine. I was not able to come and watch some of the rest of the matches, but looking through these brackets, these kids had to work to get where they're at.
They sure have. Some of them wrestled about 3 or 4 matches, I guess, to get here at least. 1, 2, 3, at least 3.
But at least 3 if you kept winning.
That's right. And some of them were lucky to have some buys, but it's all going to change as everyone's wrestling in this final championship, and everyone's really getting ready for their state championships coming up soon, one of the big tournaments before that happens. So I know I've watched Coach Jake Wolstenhume out there, talked to him earlier today. He's been very pleased with how his wrestlers were doing. Like you said, we have a couple in the finals. We're going to be starting off with 2 South Summit wrestlers on the first 2 matches. I'm pretty sure they're going to go both at the same time. So we're going to do our best to go back and forth and keep you updated on them. It'd be nice if they just did one mat, but I don't think that's happening. So
well, and they're doing it a little different. So just so you guys at home know, I have never seen it done like this before. On the mat to our left, they're going to start at the 106-pound weight class, which is the lightest weight class. To our right, they are going to start with the heavyweights. Heavyweights have never wrestled this early in any tournament I've ever been to. So looks like we're going to do the national anthem here, so we'll take a little break.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
When the music starts, we will join to sing the national anthem. Okay, wrestler, we can get out on the mat for a face-off. No 6, no 145 on the
Yeah, like I was saying, I'd never seen it done like this before. I've never heard of it being done like this before. So if you're at home and you're waiting till the end of the broadcast to watch your relative wrestle at the end of the broadcast, that's not going to happen. You need to get on to call any friends, relatives, neighbors. Heavyweights will be starting on the mat to our right. Lightweights starting to the mat to our left. They'll work their way to the middleweights. So something different. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. Good to see Coach Wilson being proactive on trying something new, trying new things. He's not afraid.
That's pretty interesting. We'll see how the athletes take it. I'm sure they'll be just fine if they wrestle first or last. They'll roll with it and get her done. Looks like as I look over there, South Summit has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 wrestlers in the finals. That's pretty good for the 2A team. Proud of those boys. I guess they're such a good team. They're predicted to take first in state this year.
Well, go on Facebook, and I'm just trying to load that back up. I was trying to show you that a little earlier. Seen an article last night ranking all the 2A wrestlers in their expected outcome. It was more of a this is what we think is going to happen. And it also had the teams, and you're right. South Summit was picked to take that, and so while it is an unofficial ranking, it's dang interesting to know that there's somebody out there keeping track of stats and saying, "Hey, these guys can force to be reckoned with."
That's great. That's great. Of course, on the other side, you look at the team from Wasatch, and from what I understand, Coach Disher didn't even bring his whole team with him. I think they had another tournament out of state. Might have been Minnesota or something. They had a tournament somewhere. He took half his team there and the other half the team to this one.
Wow.
So Wasatch missing part of their team still having a big showing here today.
And they always do. That is a tough program. I think even their second and third teams, their JV teams, is a force to be reckoned with at their level.
As I do a recount over there, I was counting all the kids. It looks like South Summit has 5 kids in the finals. So it looks like Ty Thornton, Broughton Flygar, James Scow, Porter Fox, and Alex Johnson all have made it. Good for them. Oh, must be Payton Rolston here.
There is a couple more over here.
Look at that.
Yeah, it should be an interesting night. We should have plenty of action to call.
Jaden Williams as well.
Yep, Jaden Williams as well.
A couple teams from out of state here. I think Wyoming representing. They had a team from Lyman and a team from Cokeville, both showing up to this tournament, as well as Westlake, Lehi, Union, Morgan, Wasatch, like I mentioned earlier, Payson, and I don't know, did I say Uinta? No, not Uinta, Union.
Union's always a tough school.
There we go.
And Westlake, for anybody who knows anything, while I was coming in today, able to see a good friend, Gary Twitchell, who was the principal here for years and years, and he is actually helping with the wrestling program in Westlake and was able to see and talk to him here today. So most of you might know him. It looks like we're getting started right off the bat over here with Jaden Williams. Jaden Williams over here on the mat to our left at 106 pounds. Going to start out the match. He shoots in, tries to pull the single leg. He is wrestling Jake Frost from Union.
And on the right-hand mat over here, we have Porter Fox right off the bat, taking on Dalton Clark from Union as well.
Jaden over here tying up, circling around, trying to feel him out a little bit. I know this Union wrestler is going to be tougher than some of his others today. Porter Fox over here on our right, he's a little more cautious today, it looks like, than he was last night. Last night, though, he got after it. It was a great match to watch.
It was. He's wrestling the big boy right now. He's outweighed by probably 30 pounds at least.
He's got his work cut out for him.
Oh, yeah.
Jaden over here still neutral. No points being scored on either match. Both wrestlers are still neutral. Union shoots in, tries to do that ankle pick, is able to get a 2-point takedown with 60 seconds left, but they're going to go out of bounds. Ref's going to bring him back to the center and start Jaden down.
We're going to try and switch the cameras back and forth as much as possible. Show you all the good action. We're going to miss some. We can't have the camera on both mats at the same time. We'll do the best we can.
Jaden starts on the bottom, tries to get up. Union putting on a tight waist, taking Jaden right back down, taking a lot of energy out of Jaden. Jaden gets to his feet, trying to break a grip, gets his legs behind him, almost gets an escape, but they go out of bounds before he can get any points scored. Still 2-0 for Jaden.
Fox and Clark over here on the right-hand side. They're just battling, standing up. No one's really made any moves yet. Still 0-0 with 24 seconds left.
Ref brings Jaden back to the center. He starts in the bottom. He does a sit-out, tries to get the 2 reversal, and gets it. He's able to get the 2-point score. Jake Frost from Union immediately follows him around and gets another 2 points reversal. Gets Jaden on his back. Got him in a tight cradle, and it's not looking good for Jaden. Jaden doing all he can to get up, but he's not going to be able to do it as Jade Frost pins Jaden Williams from South Summit.
Good effort there by Jaden Williams today. Make it to the final round. Just outdone a little bit by Jake Frost from Union.
Union's a tough program. He's not got to hang his head, and you know that's who Porter Fox is wrestling over here is from Union as well. So
that's correct.
Now we can kind of slide over to him, and you know, Jaden doing a good match there that we just watched. He has a he's just in 10th grade. He has a record of 36-9, and I know looking at the anticipated standings for the year, they're picking Jaden to be in second place. So good things to come from him. Going over to Porter Fox, score is 1-0. It looks like he was able to get the escape, got the point, and 1:36 left in the second round. Both wrestlers neutral. Porter leading by a score of 1-0.
Porter is a sophomore, and his opponent from Union, Dalton Clark, is just a freshman.
Wow, that's a big freshman.
He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a while.
Dalton tries to put Porter in a headlock. Porter does a good job of staying out of it, gets back to his feet before any points are scored. That was really close and a really good job by Porter to keep those points from getting scored. But you can see that Dalton Clark, who you said is a freshman, it's just the inexperience because he had an easy 2 points. Porter was able to escape. Both wrestlers still neutral, pushing around, getting a lot of head slapping going on. Porter shoots in for a single, not able to get it. Comes back out, gets neutral again. Dalton doing a lot of head slapping. Porter needs to make sure he keeps his composure here. Keeps his eye on the prize as 30 seconds winds down. Dalton goes in for a headlock, almost gets it. Porter's able to get away and stay neutral before any points are scored. Wrestler's still neutral, circling around. Dalton really trying to get that headlock a couple of times, and if Porter can just be patient and pick up that leg when Dalton misses it, because it's not a good headlock. Both wrestlers still tied up in the center, still neutral. Scores 1-0 as time runs out here in the second period. And that'll be the second period.
Over here on the other mats, here we have Trevor Clough from Wasatch.
113, we had Trevor Clough from Wasatch and Ising Valdez from Westlake. So looks like that was Edgar Gandarilla from South Summit won his first match, lost his second match. Gandarilla ended up taking 4th place. Back over here to Porter. They're going to start the third round with Porter being down, which is a great place in my opinion to start. When you start that final round down, you can usually get your 1 point with a little bit of hustle. He immediately sticks his foot out, trying to stand up, gets to his feet. Dalton takes him right back down, shoots a hard crossface, trying to get a cradle. Porter gets to his feet and is able to get a reverse and get Dalton on his back. Ref down, taking a look. Porter's got a good stick on him, and he pins his man for the pin.
Listen to that crowd. Obviously, we're in South Summit for the cheer for Porter Fox, who has been wrestling great for his team, coming up with huge wins this year, pulling his team to victories, and pulling himself to a victory here multiple times. What a great effort by the 10th grader. Looking forward to seeing him for the next couple years wrestle for South Summit.
And Porter Fox is just a sophomore, and I told you earlier in the broadcast, if he can just be patient, I could see that that Dalton was making a lot of mistakes. He wasn't making good, clean moves. And Porter was lucky enough to just stay out of his way, not get caught in anything, and pick up on those mistakes, turn it into a pin. That was a great job by Porter of turning something around and making it work for him.
Up next here, we have the 220 weight class, James Scow from South Summit versus Carson Terrell from Lehi.
Carson Terrell from Lehi, this is going to be a tough match for James. He's going to have to step it up another notch. What was the guy's name from Lehi? Carson shot in, tried to get the double leg, almost had it, had James down, wasn't able to get the 2 points. James was able to get around, get behind him, and turn it into 2 points of his own.
Carson, a tremendous athlete. He plays basketball for the 5A school as well. He was an all-state 5A football player.
Wow. That's pretty impressive coming out of Lehi. So James doing a good job keeping Carson broke down, tightens that arm up, making sure that Carson can't get up. Carson trying to get to his hands and knees. James getting a little bit out of position. Carson taking advantage of it and getting a 1 point escape on it. Both wrestlers neutral.
2-1, James on top.
James just got out of position a little bit there, and Carson, being the athlete that he is, was able to make a play on it. So both wrestlers neutral. Score is 2-1. Both wrestlers still circling around.
The update over here on the other mat, Trevor Clough looks like to be up by 1 point over Isaiah Valdez from Westlake. Trevor Clough from Wasatch.
Back over here to James. They're both wrestlers are still neutral. His time's running out in the first period. 10 seconds left. James leading by a score 2-1. Both these guys getting a little tireder now. They're being a little more cautious with what moves they're making and when they're shooting. And ref's going to stop him for the end of the round.
10 seconds left over here. Trevor Clough doing all he can to stay in good position. 2 seconds left, and that'll go to the third period.
James over here getting ready to start the second period on top. Takes his place. The ref's going to start him. Carson tries to go to his feet. Jason doing a good job with a lift, trying to keep him back down. As soon as Carson hits the mat, he tries to do the reversal. James doing a good job of stopping him from doing that. Getting a little bit out of position again, but still able to maintain good control as they get towards the edge of the mat. Carson reaching around, grabbing those legs, trying to pull James in. You can see James has got a lot of strength to stretch that out. Try to break that grip, hits a hard crossface. Trying to get that reverse arm bar, has the arm tied up. Almost got a reverse half Nelson there. Almost able to get him around for a 2 point near fall. Looks like he's going to get that. Not going to be enough to get him a pin though, I don't think. It's going to score him some points, but I don't think he's going to be able to pin his man as Carson rolls all the way through it. Allows James to get 3 points for the near fall. And Carson immediately goes into a reversal. James doing a good job stretching back out. Score still 5-1. James still on top. James still has control. Carson's flat on the mat. Still has a hold of his legs, trying to get up to his hands and knees. James finally gets out of position enough that he decides he better cut his losses and lets the 1 point escape happen. Probably a good idea on James's part. He was not in good position, and if Carson had any energy left, he could have turned that into even more points. So sometimes better to give up the point than lose 3 or 4. Carson goes in, shoots hard for a single leg, goes up to the waist, and gets a 2 point takedown on James. So what was a 5-3 lead, or 5-2 lead, comes down to a 5-4 lead. James on the bottom, Carson on top. Carson keeping him broke down flat. James trying to get up. Carson reaching around, pulling the arms, trying to get him rolled over. Carson a little bit out of position. I hope James can take an advantage and do a reversal here, but time runs out before he can do anything.
5-4, James Scow on top of Carson Terrell from Lehi.
Good thing is we'll start this third round with James on the bottom position. Good chance to score some points here. It looks like both wrestlers are wore out and tired, so it's going to come down to who wants it the worst.
Trevor Clough from Wasatch pulls out to be the winner. Ref's 113 weight.
Ref starts the match. James a little slow to react. Carson gets him broke down, working the arms and the legs, trying to get James rolled over. James doing a good job of staying flat on his stomach, but he needs to make some moves here. Carson working his way, trying to get around to get into a cradle, has the leg, has the head, not able to get his hands locked. James doing a good job with his extreme strength and keeping that from happening, but gets out of position. Carson almost takes advantage of it. Almost gets 2 points for the near fall, but not quite. James gets around, gets a 2-point reversal. James now on top. 1 minute left in the third period, leads by a score of 7-4. James doing a good job pulling the single arm bar, trying to get the arm up. Does a good job keeping Carson broke down. Still working on the single arm bar. Can't quite get it pulled back around. Carson, being the 5A or the football player that you said he was, he's got a lot of strength as well. James really working on that single arm bar, gets the arm, starts to go for the half Nelson, but getting out of position a little bit as Carson goes to his hands and knees. Once again, James got to cut his losses and let the escape happen. Get back to a neutral position. Score is 7-5. 39 seconds left. If Carson gets the takedown, he shoots, tries to get the single, can't get it, goes to a double, can't get it. James doing a good job stretching out, gets back to a neutral position, still leads by a score of 7-4 now.
25 seconds to go.
Carson shoots in, tries to get the double, drops it, goes to a single. James stretching out, trying to keep anything from happening. Staying in pretty good position. Still watching the clock. Carson still trying to pull that single leg. Can't get it. James does a good job getting back. Carson shoots again. Tries to go for the 2-leg takedown. Almost gets it. But James able to get him around and almost gets a 2-point takedown, which is irrelevant because he's going to win the match.
7-5. James Scow on top over Terrell. Sorry, you're right. Carson Terrell.
Carson Terrell from Lehi. That was a good match.
Looks like over here we just missed a whole match. Who's in blue?
I am going to say over here,
Lyman.
120 pound, it was Douglas from Lyman against Sampson from Lehi.
And Douglas ends up being the winner of that match.
Both mats are now empty.
Up next is going to be Dryden Minnick from Lyman and Wason Foy from Wasatch at 195. We're probably going to cover that one. Who do we have
over to our left? On the left mat at the 126-pound weight class, we have Jason Bowen
from Cokeville,
and Parker Ellison from Union.
We're going to cover the Wasatch match. Wason Foy, considering his mom was my son's teacher, best teacher that he ever had, so we're going to pay her a little respect right there.
Good match already as we get into it. 10 seconds. Mink from Lyman tries to shoot in. Foy doing a good job staying stretched out. Both wrestlers still neutral. Tying up, trying to fill each other out. Foy shoots, not able to get it. Tried a single leg. Mink from Lyman does a good job of stretching out. Both wrestlers end up neutral again. No points scored as we come upon 1 minute.
Just so you know, this is Mink's first year as a wrestler, and he's in the championship round here.
Wow, Foy shoots in. Mink shoots in. Foy turns it into a fireman's carry and throws Mink down to the ground, gets a 2-point takedown. Not in very good position to score any more points, and Mink able to get away and get a point on the escape. But good defense there by Foy as he turned a defensive move into a fireman's carry and immediately got 2 points. Score is 2-1 with 30 seconds winding down in the first period. Wason Foy from Wasatch.
Wow, that's
this one, Dryden Mink. These guys starting to go at it a little bit, and
when you look down there, Wason Foy fell on his own 2 feet, fell back, got bull rushed, and was able to stand there and withstand the hit.
Got a pretty good match facing up here. Foy does a good job of keeping Mink from getting that headlock, trying to do a throw. Mink still trying to get that headlock, drops to a double leg, gets a hold of the legs, trying to pull in. Foy stretches out, gets his arms down in where he needs to be, and the clock's going to run out before any points are scored.
Still 0-0 in the match on the other side between Bowen and Ellison.
Got a good match between Cokeville, Wyoming and Union going on. No score at these lightweights, which is unusual as the first period comes to an end over there. Foy will be in the top position. Mink from Lyman will be in the bottom position as they start the second round on the 195 weight pound class to our right. No South Summit wrestlers wrestling right now, so we're just calling the match to our right, which is a Wasatch, probably the closest to us. Mink able to get an escape, so score is now tied at 2. Good thing about starting from that bottom position, it's easy to score points from that bottom position. Later on in the match with these heavier wrestlers, maybe not so much easier because they do get tired faster, but the bottom spot, always a favorite to score points from, especially if you needed 1 or 2 at the last minute. Wrestlers still neutral, still tied at 2. Both wrestlers taking some shots, but neither one really committing to a hard takedown shot. Both being a little apprehensive, being a little defensive.
We got our first points over on the other match. It looks like orange. That's probably Cokeville.
Looks like Cokeville got a 2-point takedown. Mink over here shoots and tries to get a takedown. Foy doing a good job of stopping him. Not allowing any points to be scored.
2-2 still over there with 30 seconds to go.
Both matches pretty close. So midway 30 to 40 seconds in the second period left. Mink shoots in to get a 2-point takedown. Foy gets out of balance a little bit, and Mink's able to get another 2 points. So he's going to lead this match at 4-2 as the second period winds down. Foy on the bottom, struggling to get out, tries to do a reversal, can't get it. Almost gets an escape, but not able to break Mink's grip to get that 1 point. Mink still maintaining his grip and not allowing the 1 point to be scored as that round comes to an end. Still a tight match over here to our left with Jason Bowen from Cokeville wrestling Parker Ellison from Union. Still 2-0. Bowen from Cokeville has the lead over the Union wrestler. Over to our right, the refs, I know one of the coaches was contesting that escape. He felt like Foy should have had the one escape point. I didn't see it. I still saw it, even though Foy was completely standing up, even though Foy was almost clear, Mink still had his hands locked, and that establishes control. So Foy was unable to break that control link before going back down to the mat. I'm sticking with the refs on this one.
Looks like you're right.
They will start the third period with Foy in the bottom. Good scoring position. Mink will take his place on top. And the tight match getting started for the third and final round between Mink from Lyman, Wyoming and Foy from Wasatch. Foy tries to get up. Mink breaks him back down. Foy gets back to his hands and knees. Mink tries to get to a crossbody ride, gets out of position. Foy takes advantage of it, gets a 1 point escape.
4-3. Foy down by 1 to Mink with 1:30 left in this final period.
Foy really needs to try to get this takedown and make it happen. And I know that that coach from Wasatch is telling him the same thing. Shoots for the Firemen's, can't get it. Mink does a good job stretching back out. Foy backs up, going to reevaluate. Mink being more of a defensive wrestler right now as he's got a 1 point lead. Foy trying to work his way in there, see if he can get Mink out of balance a little bit. Needs to get going with 1 minute left in the third and final period, behind by 1 point. Both wrestlers tied up around the center of the mat. Nothing happening, but both of them realizing that time's running out. Mink knows he's got this one. If he just keeps out of Foy's way, Foy realizing that he's got to do something to make it happen quick as the time runs down to 45 seconds. Foy shoots, tries to get the single leg, drops the fireman's, goes to the single leg, pulls in hard, Mink stretching out, breaking his grip, not able to get the 2 points. Both wrestlers still going at it. Foy still trying to get the leg and gets out of position. Mink gets on top for another 2 points. Foy really got some ground to make up now. There's 21 seconds left on the clock. Mink gets Foy on his back. Foy trying to get back to his stomach. Almost gets the 2 point near fall, but not enough. Not enough time. Ref is now going to give it to him. Gives him the 2 points for near fall. Mink says, hey, I got a 5 point lead. Let Foy up. We'll start again neutral. Gives Foy the 1 point escape, but it's not going to make much difference as the third period runs out. Score is 8-4.
Mink on top of Foy. Not bad for the first-year wrestler.
Over here to our left, the match just finishing up between Jason Bowen from Cokeville and Parker Ellison from Union. Looks like Wyoming's going to win this one.
Up next at the 182 over here on the mat on the right, we're going to have Chase Lovelace from Payson versus Alex Johnson from South Summits.
Good. Got a South Summit match to call. Over here on the left-hand match at 132 pounds, Kenyon Green from Union's going to be wrestling Cash Ford from Payson. The weight class at the 132 pound, it looks like our South Summit wrestler was J.R. Peacock. J.R. won his first match, won his second match, won his third match. Not able to hold off Kenyon Green, and Peacock ended up wrestling for third and fourth, and I'm not sure which place he ended up. But over here to our right, Alex Johnson and Lovelace from Payson get started. Johnson shooting in, trying to get the single. Payson stretching out, not allowing him to get it. Payson trying to get around, trying to get the 2 points. Almost gets it as they go out of bounds. The ref's going to give it to him. That was pretty close. I thought they were out of bounds before the points had been scored, but ref's going to give him 2. Alex has got to start from behind.
Lovelace took second state last year. He's an 11th grader, and Johnson took fourth at state last year, and he's a 10th grader.
Keeping in mind that second in state for Payson is 5A? 4A,
I think.
Yeah. So Johnson's got his hands full, but by no means, is any of our 2A wrestlers the underdog with any of these other teams, even the bigger schools. Alex trying to get up. Payson getting out of position a little bit. Alex still trying to get to his hands and knees. Lovelace from Payson doing a good job staying in position, keeping Johnson from scoring any points as they get towards the edge of the match. Johnson gets a half Nielsen shot as Lovelace gets a half Nielsen shot as Johnson gets out of position. Gets Johnson on his back. Ref down taking a look. Johnson trying to get out of bounds, able to get to his stomach. Trying to get back to his hands and knees, but he did lose the 3 points on the near fall. Score is going to be 5-0. And Lovelace gets the reverse single arm bar again as Johnson tries to get up. Gets Johnson back on his back with 19 seconds left. Ref down taking a look. I don't think Lovelace is going to be able to pin him. He doesn't have it tied enough, but Johnson's definitely going to spend a lot of energy trying to get out. Johnson still on his back. Johnson tries to get out. Lovelace tightens it up and pins Johnson.
With 1.1 seconds left.
Almost had it out. I thought, we almost wonder if Johnson didn't think he had it out too. And just 1 minute of relaxing, and that's all it took.
All right, who do we have up here next? Looks like on the right-hand map we have Broughton Flygar from South Summit versus Jordan Taylor from Westlake.
Yes, and I've, let's see, where are we at here? Oh, and we got Peyton Wolstenhume over here on the left wrestling Jed Lovelace from Payson. So another Lovelace wrestling the South Summit wrestler. I do know this Broughton Flagger match is kind of...
Is that this one over here?
Yep, we got Peyton over here. Jaden, sorry.
There's Peyton over here on the right.
Oh, Peyton's on our right.
Yeah.
Broughton's on our left. And I know that this match between Broughton and the Westlake wrestler, they got into a lot of trouble the last time they wrestled. In fact, the Westlake wrestler got disqualified.
Really?
So I know that one of the things that Mr. Twitchell was coming to make sure that we didn't get into any problems here between Jordan Taylor and Broughton Flygar, as the last match really got physical, got pretty heated, and so this is going to be a match to watch. Both wrestlers are still neutral. Both wrestlers really going at it. You can see there's no love lost between these two. Payton, in a not used to seeing him in the bottom position over here to our right, as the score is already 4-1 from Loveless from Payson. Match is still scoreless on Broughton Flygar to our left. Jordan Taylor from Westlake almost is able to get Broughton down to get some points scored. Broughton does a good job of staying away from him. Payton over here on our right. Broughton to our left. Payton is able to get a 2-point reversal. Score is going to be 3-4. Watching Broughton over here on our left for you at home. Score is 2-0. Westlake was able to get the 2-point takedown. Broughton got out of position a little bit there and allowed that score to happen. Broughton trying to get the 1-point escape before time runs out, is able to do so. Got a 1-point match as both wrestlers are neutral. Jordan Taylor from Westlake, Broughton Flygar from South Summit. Taylor shoots in, tries to get a headlock. Broughton stops him from getting it, but Westlake able to get around behind him, do a throw, and get another 2-point takedown on Broughton Flygar. Broughton's on the bottom. Jordan Taylor a little bit out of position. Broughton trying to take advantage of grabbing that leg, trying to go to his feet, get another 1-point escape. Broughton trying to get around behind him as Jordan Taylor gets way out of position. Jordan turns it, tries to put a cradle on. Broughton almost gets him on a mistake and almost gets the 2 points reversal, but not able to do it as Westlake maintains control. Broughton will be on the bottom, and the score will be 4-1 as the first round comes to an end.
Looks like it is just said 9-3, bumped up to 12-3. Who's Payton Wilson-Hume?
He is wrestling Jed Loveless from Payson.
Loveless
And that looks like a tough match over there. Broughton still over here to our left. Ref is getting ready to start the second period. Jordan Taylor will win the toss. He elects to start the second period down. Broughton will take his place on top. Score is 6-1 as there was some near foul points scored, so Broughton's got some ground to make up. Westlake immediately goes to his feet, tries to get the 1-point escape. Broughton stays with him for a minute, but Westlake able to get away and get that 1-point escape. Score is 7-1. Jordan Taylor immediately shoots in, pulls the single leg, gets Broughton down on the mat, able to get the control, gets another 2-point takedown. Score is 9-1. So Broughton having his hands full with Jordan Taylor from Westlake. Really getting physical, really getting active. Jordan Taylor goes to a crossbody ride, gets the leg looped, starts working on the arms, gets Broughton broke down to his stomach. Broughton really trying to get back up to his hands and knees, and it looks like Jordan does a illegal move, potentially dangerous move. Ref is going to stop him and bring him back to the center.
Over here on the other side, Payton Wilson-Hume now down by a lot, 16-4.
They start the second. The ref starts him again. Broughton on the bottom, Jordan on top. Broughton immediately goes to his feet, gets the 1-point escape, shoots for the single leg, can't get it. Both wrestlers tied up. Broughton on his feet, trying to get another 2-point takedown. Taylor from Westlake keeping him from doing much. Taylor tries to strong arm Broughton down, and that's not going to happen. They end up going out of bounds, and the ref will stop him and bring him back to the center. Starts him neutral. Taylor immediately shoots. Broughton does a good job of not letting him get in. Both wrestlers back to their feet. No points being scored. Both wrestlers neutral, circling around. Westlake shoots, gets the double leg, trying to get the control. Broughton doing a good job of staying in front of him, not allowing him to get behind him. Broughton trying to get away, but not before he's going to get a 2-point takedown by Jordan from Westlake. Broughton trying to get out of bounds before any points are scored, and does so. I thought the ref was going to give him a 2-point takedown, but he didn't give it to him. Both wrestlers neutral. Brings him back to the center. Broughton shoots, misses. Jordan tries to spin out of it and get a 2-point. Broughton doing a good job of paying attention and not making that mistake twice.
8 seconds to go.
Both wrestlers getting pretty tired. They've been going at it pretty hard. Both wrestlers still neutral as time runs out.
9-2. Fly guard down by 7 against Taylor from Westlake.
Broughton gets to choose for the third and final round. He's going to start neutral.
And over here on the other mat, looks like Wolstenholme is down 18-4.
Tough match over there. Ref will start the third round. Broughton down by 7 points. Got a lot of ground to make up. Both wrestlers neutral. They tie up in the center. Jordan shoots, gets the double, drops to a single, doesn't have the control, getting around behind Broughton. Brian trying to keep him from getting the 2 points, but Jordan doing a good job of getting Broughton taken down for the 2 points. Gets out of position a little bit. Broughton gets an escape. Both wrestlers neutral again as they go out of bounds.
The match is over here on the right. Hayden Wolstenholme loses that one to Jed Lovelace from Payson.
Back over here to Broughton. It's 1:19 left. He's behind by 8 points, and he's got some more ground to make up. Both wrestlers neutral. Jordan shoots, gets the single, trying to get around behind him. Broughton doing a good job of blocking him, trying to not lose the 2-point takedown. Jordan doing a good job of working around behind him to get that 2 points. Tries to do a reverse cradle, gets the hands locked, gets Broughton on his back. The ref over taking a look. Broughton doing a good job of breaking that grip, but he's still on his back as the ref's down taking a look. Jordan gets the reverse half Nelson on him, has got him down flat. He could pin him in this round. 41 seconds left in the third period. Broughton stuck on his back. The ref taking a look, and he pins him.
Over here on the right-hand mat, we just started Tyler Manukin from Payson versus Michael McCann from Westlake.
And we are going to change over to the other screen.
We're over here.
Okay. Broughton losing that match. And they are going to give him the medal, and coach is going to go have a word with Broughton. I know that was a tough match. I know it was charged with emotion.
We were over here the whole time. We didn't see any of that.
These guys has got to maintain composure. And for those of you at home and for you, I know Broughton was disappointed with his match. I know he was disappointed with his performance. Still got to shake hands at the end, and Broughton failed to do that. And I think coach is having a word with him now.
Yeah, he went chasing him out the door.
Win, lose, or draw, you still got to play the game.
That's right. We're still over here. Westlake looks like they are on top. Who is that? That's Michael McCann on top 2-0 over Tyler Manukin. And over on the left match, if we can get that paperwork straight here, who do we have over there, Dirk?
At 145 pounds, we have Dallin Ewart from Morgan against Seth Gardner from Wasatch.
We'll take on that one. Some neighboring schools, Morgan and Wasatch.
Both of them pretty close to us. Might have some relatives of the wrestlers watching.
Looks like the gentleman from Morgan is on top 4-1.
4-1 with that lead, and that's going to be the last match over on our left. This night going by pretty quick.
I think they could have just done one mat.
Although
with the snow in South Summit, you might want to get everyone home safe.
That's a point as well. We don't know what's going on outside. I know it was starting to flurry when I was getting here, and I know it was forecast to be pretty decent. Another 2 points scored over here as the Morgan wrestler, Seth Gardner, gets a 2-point takedown, increases his lead 6-1 over Dallin Ewart from Seth Gardner from Wasatch, behind to Dallin Ewart from Morgan. Morgan on top, leads by a score of 6-1. Gardner trying to get away, gets the 1-point escape. Score will be 6-2. Both wrestlers neutral, tying up in the center of the mat. First period getting close to the end with 20 seconds left. Gardner shoots in, not able to do anything. Dallin doing a good job of keeping any points from being scored as they go out of bounds. Ref brings him back to the center, starts him neutral. Both wrestlers tying up. Shoots for the double, can't get it. Gardner doing a good job of staying in good position as Dallin Ewert shoots several times, but not able to score 2 points before they go out of bounds.
Over here, it looks like from Westlake, Michael McCann on top 3-2 with a minute 22 left in this second period over Tyler Manukin from Payson.
Ref brings him back to the center. Dallin Ewert on top. Seth Gardner on the bottom, tries to get up. Can't do it. Score will be 8-2 as they start the second period. Ewert gets to Gardner gets to choose. He will start in the down position. Ewert takes his place on top. Ref blows his whistle. Ewert immediately tries to keep Gardner from getting to his feet. Gardner goes to his feet. Ewert breaks him down. Gardner goes to his feet again. Is able to get the 1 point escape. Both wrestlers neutral. Scores 8-3. Gardner doing a good job scoring his point there from the down position. Getting a little defensive now as Ewert shoots in and not able to get the 2 points. Seth shoots in, gets out of position a little bit. Ewert takes advantage of it, gets him on the gets the 2 point takedown as they're going out of bounds. Score will be 10-3.
10-3. Who's on top? Morgan?
Morgan is winning the match. Dallin Ewert from Morgan is winning by a score of 10-3, and the ref will bring him back. Start Ewert on top. Dallin goes to his feet. Seth Gardner gets the 1 point escape.
And we have 6-2 at the end of the second period over here on the other mat. It looks like Michael McCann from Westlake is on top, 6-2 over Tyler Manukin.
Back over here, they've started again. Score is now 12-4. Dallin Ewert from Morgan on top of Seth Gardner from Wasatch. Seth trying to stay off of his back as Gardner has a pretty hard crossbody ride on him. Trying to work that half Nelson. Trying to work both arms, getting him rolled around. Gardner trying to get back to his hands and knees. Dallin from Wasatch shoots a hard half. Gardner does a good job of getting around, not allowing Gardner to turn it, or Ewert to turn him over. Ewert gets out of position a little bit, but really wraps up the waist and legs with his legs. Going to be pretty tough for Gardner to get up from that position as time runs down to 10 seconds. Even though Ewert's way out of position, he's got the wrap, and it's going to be pretty tough for Seth Gardner to get out of that until the round comes to an end.
Which it has. 12-4, Ewert on top.
South Summit wrestler in this weight class, it looks like, was Kendall Dick, and Dick won his first match. He won his second match, but lost to Gardner from Wasatch. And I know that Kendall ended up taking fourth place today, so tough weight class for Kendall. You can see these two guys, pretty tough weight class.
It ended up Kendall Dick had to wrestle his teammate, Kevin Mora.
Wow.
For the fourth place match.
Two good South Summit wrestlers, because this is a tough weight class as I look through it. Score is now 13-4 for Dallin Ewert of Morgan over Seth Gardner of Wasatch. Dallin Ewert is in 11th grade. His parents are Micah and Darla Ewert and Chris and Trina Hammond. Seth Gardner from Wasatch is in the 10th grade, and his parents are Paul and Fawn. Both of these wrestlers have got some outstanding records, so like we said earlier, this is a tough weight class as 1 minute rolls down. Dallin Ewert is still ahead by a score of 13-7.
Some high-quality wrestlers here today, Dirk.
There is some high-quality wrestlers here today. Both of these wrestlers still going at it pretty hard with 50 seconds left in the third period.
And over here on the last match of the night, I believe, at 152, Wyatt Monroe from Payson, Ty Thornton from South Summit will bring the coverage over to this mat as we cover the last one. Of course, thankfully, a South Summit boy for us.
Absolutely. It's pretty tough to call these matches when we don't know who they are. Ty doing a good job last night. He had a pretty tough match last night. And good to see him here today.
I think he kept saying last night he was out of position, but he still figured out a way to do it.
He still figured out a way to do it. And Ty Thornton, he had a tough, looks like he had several tough matches today, but this is going to be his toughest one as the ref starts the period. Both wrestlers tie up, circling around. Ty shoots in, tries to get a single. Wyatt stretches out, doesn't allow him to score any points. Both wrestlers still tied up, still on their feet, still neutral. Breaks away. Backs up, takes another look at it. Ty comes in, ties up. Wyatt does a little fake shoot there. Ty does a good job of not falling for it. Ty shoots, tries to get the double leg. Wyatt stretching out hard. Gets his arms down where he's supposed to be, and Ty does a good job of getting back out before he gets in any trouble. Both wrestlers on their feet, still neutral, no points scored. Wyatt shoots in for a single, pulls up the leg. Ty doing a good job trying to stay on his feet and not allow the 2-point, but he is going to be pretty tough as he is able to break his grip.
Wow.
Ty flips around and ends up with a 2-point takedown.
I thought that was going the other way as I was watching that.
I was ready to call the takedown. And Ty manages to get in the best position since I've seen him from last night. And he has better position now than he did the whole match last night.
There we go.
Got him broke down. Wyatt trying to get to his hands and knees. Ty gets a little high, does the crossbody ride, gets the leg looped. Wyatt going to his feet. Ty gets way out of position. Wyatt's going to get a 2-point reversal, and Ty's going to have to start over from the stomach.
2-2, 26 seconds left of the first period.
Ref's going to stop him for a, looks like a bloody nose.
That's the first stoppage for blood we've had in this championship round.
And it looks like it's going to his forehead. So this one might take a minute. Tough, Ty is such an amazing wrestler. But he got out of position again today. And when you're wrestling guys of this caliber, you can't make those mistakes.
They'll take advantage, don't they?
They will take advantage of it.
I mean, that seems like to me that's what you're looking for, is wait for your opponent to make a mistake and you capitalize on that.
Yep, Ty doing a good job of capitalizing on the mistake made by Wyatt earlier in the match. Then gets out of position and makes the same mistake, and that results in the score being tied 2-2. Mistakes by both wrestlers. Looks like they got the bleeding stopped. They're going to bring him back. Wyatt Monroe, a sophomore from Payson. Ty Thornton takes his bottom spot. Wyatt takes the top. Ty tries to set out. Wyatt puts on a tight waist, keeps him down, gets him broke down to his stomach. Ty back to his hands and knees. Wyatt getting out of position a little bit here. Throws on a tight waist and an arm chop. You can see the strength of Ty here is that none of that works. He's still able to get to his hands and knees, goes to his feet, trying to get the 1-point escape. Can't break the grip before the time runs out. Score is still tied at 2.
Good match here to end the night.
Payson's going to win the toss. He will defer to the second round. Ty Thornton will take top. And that's how they'll start the second round, tied at 2. Ty tries to chop, doesn't do it. Pulls on a tight waist, doesn't work. Wyatt goes to his feet, trying to get away. Ty trying to do a cradle from the bottom, from standing position. That's going to get him out of position, and Wyatt's going to take advantage and get a 1-point escape. Both wrestlers neutral. Score is 3-2. Tying up at the center of the mat. Circling each other around. Ty decides he doesn't want to tie up. Backs out, takes another look. Tyson getting out of shape just a little bit. Wyatt shoots in, almost gets the 2-point. Tyson tries to get away. Ty Thornton tries to get away, but Wyatt's just too good and gets another 2-point takedown. Ty Thornton on his hands and knees. Wyatt from Payson on top. Ty trying to get to his feet. Wyatt doing a good job of keeping him broke down. Wyatt getting out of position a little bit as Ty tries to back out from underneath him. Wrestlers getting towards the edge of the mat. Ty tries to go to his feet again. Wyatt gets a reverse armbar on him, tries to get him on his back. has a reverse arm bar, but is way out of position. If Wyatt can take advantage of this, this can turn around real fast. Ty trying to get to his stomach, tried to get rolled around, almost got the 2-point reversal, but both of these wrestlers getting out of position and making mistakes, and almost resulted in Ty getting some more points. But Wyatt still on top. Ty Thornton on his hands and knees.
This Payson team's pretty good. They have some good wrestlers.
They have some good wrestlers. They have a good program. Time's starting to wind down as Ty tries to go to his feet. Wyatt really out of position. Ty tries to get the 1-point escape. Gets a couple of steps. Wyatt does a good job of hanging on. Ty tries to go to a rollover and can't do that. And that's going to bring that match to an end. Sorry, that round to an end. We still have the third round. Ty Thornton gets to choose how he wants to start the third round, and he's going to start neutral.
5-2 with Wyatt Monroe from Payson High on top over Ty Thornton, from 11th grader from South Summits.
Coach Wilson here wants a clarification on why the points weren't called. Once again, I'm with the refs here. I didn't see control change. Ref will start him again neutral at the third period. Score is 5-2. Ty Thornton got a little ground to make up as he's trailing by 3 points. Wyatt Monroe from Payson starting to roll up the mats on the other side. Still got this one match going. Wyatt shoots in to get the single leg, gets a hold of it, gets Ty for a 2-point takedown. Ty got some more ground to build up as the third round goes to 7-2 with 1:34 left. Wyatt putting on a tight waist, a little bit out of position. Pulling hard on the tight waist, trying to get the half Nelson. Ty doing a good job of staying on his hands and knees, not going down to his stomach. Wyatt trying to work into a cradle, instead goes to the reverse arm bar. Tries to break the other arm down. Ty doing a good job staying on his hands and knees and not going to his stomach. Ty still trying to keep him from getting turned over. Wyatt has a loose single arm bar on him. Not probably going to be able to get anything out of it, but Wyatt way out of position if Ty could take advantage of that. Wyatt still working that reverse single arm bar.
7-2, Monroe on top, 40 seconds to go.
Gets Ty broke down flat on his stomach, cinches up the single arm bar a little tighter. Still trying to work that half Nelson, instead goes around. Gets the double arm bar, gets Ty on his back. Ty doing a good job of not getting pinned, tries to get back to his stomach. Wyatt getting way out of position, but scoring 3 points for the near fall before Ty is able to get back to his hands and knees and get out of danger of being pinned. Time winding down, 10 seconds left. Ty's going to still be on the bottom, still behind by 7 points. It's going to be pretty tough to make that up as the third round comes to an end.
Well, that'll do it as Wyatt Monroe, the sophomore from Payson, is over Ty Thornton for the last match of the night. Well, Dirk, it was a fun day. It's too bad you weren't here with me since 6 o'clock in the morning to see all this, cooking eggs, sausage for all the boys.
Dang it.
Missing all the good soups, and just a good time. Lots of good people here, lots of big crowd from all over the state, and as well as Wyoming as well. And it was just a fun day of wrestling.
Do we know where the team scores are standing at right now?
It looks like if you look down there on the scorers table, I see a trophy.
I'm kind of curious to see how the team scores ended up.
Because that could have changed things. I think South Summit might have had a big enough lead. I'm not sure.
I know, just to do a recap from what I seen, at the 106 pounds, we had Jaden Williams end up with second place. We had Porter Fox from South Summit. He ended up winning
first place.
We had, in the 113-pound weight class, we had McCall Rose. Rose ended up in 5th place. At 120 pounds, we had, who did we have? Oh, Jed Lee. It looks like Jed Lee won his first round, won his second round, but ended up in 3rd or 4th place. 126 pounds. Do we have a wrestler at 126 pounds?
No, that's Matt Lee, and he was out.
That's Matt Lee. What happened to Matt? Do we know when he's going to be back?
I think he's got another week to go. He dislocated his shoulder.
Oh. 182-pound weight class. We didn't have a wrestler there either. No, sorry, we did have Alex Johnson.
Yes, and he took second.
Alex Johnson ended up in second place. At 170 pounds, we had Broughton Flygar, who ended up at second place. At 145 pounds, we had the South Summit wrestler was Kendall Dick, who ended up in fourth place.
Fourth place as his teammate Kevin Mora ended up in third place.
That's right. At 152 pounds, we just watched Ty Thornton wrestle a tough match, almost pull it off, but he ended up at second place. Payton Wolstenhume at 138 ended up in second place. Chandler Rose from South Summit at 160 ended up in either third or fourth place. At 195 pounds, we have Weston, is it Stagelmeyer? Or no, he's from Morgan. That's who we watched wrestle last night. And he wrestled, that's Jared Blazer's weight class.
Yes.
Jared looks like he had to buy the first round, won his second and third round, but ended up wrestling for third and fourth. Not sure how he ended up there.
Not sure either.
James Scow we watched wrestle tonight for first and second, and he ended up taking second place. So
let's listen what Principal Wolstenhume has to say about the winner.
That was the MVP of the tournament.
That's right. Good old Fox.
Ninth place was Morgan. Lyman, then Cokeville. Lehi. Union. Wasatch. Payson taking third place, Westlake taking second place, and that means the South Summit Wildcats win the High Country Classic.
That's great to see the South Summit pulled together as a team. Only one individual winner at the end, but when it comes to the team, they took the trophy right here on their home court, just what they wanted to do.
Well, and that shows you the depth they've got. They didn't win very many championship matches, but they won a heck of a lot of matches throughout the day to score enough team points. These are tough schools. You've got 2 Wyoming schools. You got 3, 4, 5A schools. This was not an easy day, and so the depth of this team to be able to score that many team points from the second and third and fourth and fifth place to be able to win this overall match shows a lot for what South Summit Wrestling team has.
Good deal. Great to watch. Glad to have you here. This is Jeremy Fierro and Dirk Rockhill broadcasting live through Wildcat TV. Thanks to All West for letting us use their channel, and hopefully all you internet viewers out there enjoyed the show. Sorry we couldn't bring both matches at the same time, but the camera wouldn't allow us to do that. Thanks to Caden Bell running the computers, one of my favorite students here at South Summit. He makes it all happen. Without him, this show wouldn't go on. So, to everyone, have a good night. It's been a fun day. Thanks, Dirk.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me come. I enjoyed it.
All right. Probably the last wrestling broadcast we'll bring you this year, so until next year, over and out.